Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to this little series of videos I'm gonna start doing. Essentially because I pretty much need to fill up my channel. I need to entertain you guys, and I know there hasn't been much out there lately in terms of me doing videos or anything like that. That's mostly because Kong has eaten up most of my time, and throughout October it's going to be a lot more hectic because we're getting the last minute shots out, but that's not what's important. So, if you guys know, I am a huge sucker for anime. I love anime. I think it's like, in terms of writing, acting, everything, it's some of the best out there right now. Anything that Hollywood puts out is kind of crappy and cheesy, and what's great about anime is that it gets to really good stories, really good characters, legitimate drama that you actually feel for these characters. And I've been a sucker for it for Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, Gundam Seed, Inuyasha, my personal favorite. And a lot of people have requested me to watch this particular anime, Sword Art Online. Now, keep in mind, I pretty much know a little bit about the show, so I do know a few spoilers here and there because I've been spoiled so many times. Thank you, friends. But in terms of the show, I'm going to give pretty much a vlog-esque episode per episode kind of review in a way, and just talk about how I like it so far. So far I've watched pretty much the first 2 episodes, so I'm going to talk about the first episode essentially, and hopefully if you guys are Sword Art Online fans, cool for you, so you get to see my take on this particular series. So yeah, let's start with the first episode. So the plot of Sword Art Online is essentially in the not too distant future, way down in Deep 13, I couldn't resist. Video games and on PC games have become so advanced that it's literally like you can literally put on a virtual helmet and your mind and your body and soul is transferred into the game as your character. And so there's this new game called Sword Art Online, which is essentially the way I can describe the game the whole game RPG thing in general is it's the Virtual Boy meets World of Warcraft. Or the Oculus Rift Oculus Rift meets World of Warcraft. Keep in mind, I don't know much about RPGs. I am a casual gamer. I do like my retro games, my Super Nintendos and Xboxes and shit, but I don't ever play online. I never play RPGs or World of Warcraft or any of that crap. So, so any of the technobabble of life bars and health potions and shit, I have no clue what the fuck they're talking about, but I might learn from this, watching this show. So, essentially, the new game, Sword Art Online, it's just been released, and there's so many people playing it, including these things called beta testers, which I guess are people who tried the demos and shit and try it out, beginners, just to see how the game is for early reviews. So there's this one character named Kirito. And keep in mind, I know the show, I think it's done by Funimation, but I know a few friends of mine who do voices on the show. So, Kirito, who I really don't know who he's voiced by. If you guys let me know in the comments, that would be awesome. He essentially is a beta tester, and he's trying out the game when it's released. And in fact, everybody's trying out this game. There's probably like a couple million people trying it, and maybe a few thousand. I don't know. I can't remember that far back. I watched the episode like about a week ago. So, essentially, they're trying out the game, they're killing boars, doing the whole Make Love Not Warcraft South Park episode where you kill boars for extra experience points. And, so they're in the game, and what happens is that while you're putting on the helmet and your mind and everything's in the game, your body is asleep. It's kind of like being in a coma, until you turn off the game and you can wake up. So, essentially, they're in the game, they're having their fun, they're trying it out, it's nice, and it's getting good reviews, but all of a sudden, you can't turn off the game, and it's a little confusing, and everybody's starting to have the same problem. They're like, what the fuck is going on here? So, the main creator of the game, who is the game master, and I could include a Captain N joke, but that joke is too easy, I apologize. And he says, guess what, guys? I wanted to play God. I wanted to control my own little world. So essentially, you guys are stuck in my little world, and when you die in the game, your body also dies in the real world. That is fucking amazing villainizing amazingness. I've never seen something this creative in terms of, supervillains or villains in general wanting to do this. The best way to play God is just in a game that you create. And that's really smart of this bad guy. And so, essentially, but then there's a few flaws. It's okay, well, you know, what happens if our parents take off the helmets? It's like, oh, your brain will fry and everything else, so, yeah, you can't really do that. And, the thing is, this is my little kind of confused. There's a few little plot holes here and there in the show, especially in the first episode, because it's like, you know, and what happens is all these deaths are being reported already, and they're being reported all around the world. So, few questions I have in mind. One, why the fuck don't they try to take off the helmets, the families, or get the cops in or something, or get that Inception shit, like get Leonardo DiCaprio in there or something. The other thing is, if they know about the game and it's created, why the fuck doesn't the Japanese authorities, or the authorities or FBI in general, go after the creators of the game and try to get them to get everybody out? These are serious flaws that in the first episode you think they would be explained. Like, I do have a theory of why the parents also cannot take off the helmets. Maybe for some reason the bad guy, the villain, decided, oh, if your parents take it off, then there's a detonation device that'll blow up like half a block. That I would rather see explained, so that would explain, okay, so we can't take off the helmets at all, and that leaves even the real world completely powerless. But again, that's just my theory of why that wouldn't work. But it also doesn't make sense why they don't send in an FBI team or something to get this guy and try to interrogate him and shit. Makes no sense. Like, some of my friends have said, oh, he's got too much money and shit. Bullshit. Bullshit, come on. In the system we live in, that shit could be easily solved as, like, a criminal mastermind. And you could take that guy down, even if the people are in the game or not, and fix that shit. So, yeah, essentially the first episode is pretty much setting up the problem. And so the whole thing is basically about survival, and the other premise of the show is you have to get up 100 levels, or 10 levels, I can't remember off the top of my head, to get to the final boss, and when you beat the final boss, you beat the game and you're out. So that's essentially the plot. So it's about survival and following this character named Kirito. So overall, the first episode, first of all, great way to set up a really cool criminal mastermind villain. I really like the way he is. He's kept under shadows. He kind of looks like the Emperor, but he's essentially like set up this world where he can do whatever the fuck he wants to these people and everybody around it. That's a really cool villain. That's a really powerful one. The character of Kirito, I like him. He's seems pretty badass on his own terms. He is a loner, and he is just kind of on his own, but he seems like a casual guy, you know? Nothing really to be excited about. I mean, when I think good anime heroes, I think of something like Goku, Vegeta, strong characters, and, you know, Inuyasha, who, like, he's a loner, but he's badass. I haven't seen that badass side of Kirito yet, so hopefully he'll come out on that. And essentially just, yeah, aside from that, it's pretty much like Battle Royale. Like, the best way I can describe it, it's Virtual Boy with World of Warcraft meets Battle Royale. Now, keep in mind, if you guys have not seen Battle Royale, go check that out right the fuck now. That's one of the greatest movies ever made. Japanese films especially. But yeah, it's like Battle Royale, and it has the tone like Battle Royale. That's what I'm really surprised by. It's the dark tones of Battle Royale are present in this series, and I really like that, because I watch Battle Royale and there's a lot of drama and there's a lot of real tense shit happening in that movie, and you're rooting for, trying to make sure everybody gets out, but that's impossible. This is the same shit with Sword Art Online. And you have that tension, you have that tone that is present in Battle Royale, but less bloody violence as you see in Sword Art Online. But yeah, just overall, first episode, really like it. Looking forward to see what happens next. And yeah, I'm probably going to continue doing these vlogs and just talking about the show in general, and doing episode per episode. And probably after this is done, I'll probably do another anime or something like that. But just keep in mind, I'm going to take my time on these. I'm not going to rush these out. So if you guys are expecting, when's the next vlog? It's like, I don't know. But I'll just post them when I get to posting them. There's not really a schedule in terms of doing shows and stuff on this channel. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. So rate, comment, subscribe, or what did you guys think of this episode, the first episode of the show? Comment below, let me know. And if you like more, subscribe, do whatever you want. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So this is BigJackFilms signing off.